Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Season 4, Episode 5, Riddle of the Ancient Aeons. Now, of course, it's been forever since we got to see an episode of Ninja Turtles, so no surprise there. Hopefully we'll get another one this week. I don't know if we will or not. I tend every once in a while I check the Wikipedia because that's normally where I check when the dates for the shows are coming. But normally I only do that when we get consistent episodes because I check to see, like, are we actually getting something next week? And then once we do start getting stuff, I kind of, fall off checking, when we're going to get an episode. And then, of course, it vanishes for 3 months or however long it's been this time. Probably hasn't been that long, but it's been a long time. So, not a bad episode to come back to. Naturally, once again, not knowing the episode was on, that's why this review is so late. And also, I forgot I watched it too. I was like, oh crap, I have to review that, because the day I actually saw it, it was super, super late. I was just watching it because I was actually eating, because work and all this extra crap. So I didn't get to review it that night because I was so tired. But now I have the chance. I think that was only 2 days ago, though. It may have been more. I honestly can't even remember. That's how late it was. I think it was only 2 days ago, though. But I think this is a pretty cool episode. Not the craziest or like most amazing episode to come back to or anything like that. It was definitely a fun one. I certainly did enjoy. The visuals for this episode were really cool for like the Aeons when they were the like demon versions of themselves, I guess. Those were really cool. I kind of like the black silhouette style, and then when they actually showed them, they weren't just black silhouettes, which personally I thought was a little bit cooler because it made me think of this movie Attack the Block, where the aliens are literally like just black silhouettes and they just have glowing blue teeth, which looks really cool. But they looked really sweet. We got the Triceratons in this episode, which showed off. I believe it was the person that actually attacked the Earth in the season 3 finale, because he mentions like, oh, I'll get promoted to this rank or whatever. I think it was that person, and I'm pretty sure it was because he had the like the face stuff for whatever for his face. So I thought that was kind of interesting. I was like, oh, that's cool. They kind of referenced the fact that he was a different rank when he attacked the Earth because he got all these different pieces of the device. But it was fairly interesting because I thought that they made that, and it was kind of cool to see them kind of go on this search. I thought that maybe they were just looking for components to make the piece. I didn't think they were literally just looking for like 4 parts of a circle. Like, I didn't. That surprised me when they was just like, no, they're flat out just looking for the pieces that have been constructed centuries ago. Like, this planet has been like that for a very long time. And the Aeons mentioned that at the end, like, we had this piece of the first real piece of technology, and it corrupted us, and we got rid of our star, and that's why we all turned dark, and our planet, did the same thing. So I thought it was very interesting that this device has kind of existed for a very long time, and it's just spread across the galaxy. I really thought they're going around not just looking for pieces of the actual machine to put together, but they're looking for pieces that are rare, like rare metals or something like that, to make this machine. But I was like, nope, they're looking for a quarter circle. And I was like, okay, well, that's interesting. It kind of changed my view on exactly how things are going to be, because I'm sure they have to find other stuff too. It's not just going to be the 4 parts of the circle. But, the actual mechanical, like there are buttons and stuff like that they were pressing, and there's like the timer and all that other stuff. But I don't know, it was just interesting when I saw that. I was like, oh, it's just like just a part of the circle. It surprised me. But it was a really cool action episode. It was nice to see. As soon as they got to the planet, I knew it was the planet that was affecting them. Like, as soon as, I think it was Mikey and Raph that did like the very first fight. As soon as Mikey got mad back, I was like, it's the planet. Like, it was automatic. It was like he got super mad and Mikey doesn't get mad. So I was like, as soon as that happened, I was like, the planet's affecting them. That was obvious. And it was interesting how it kind of went back and forth. Like, people could, they'd lose it, but then in other ways they'd recognize it. And, it's like, okay, well, sometimes they would just fight. And then other times, like when Leo and Raph were fighting, Leo kind of just switched at the last second and he hugged his brother because he realized what was happening. But it was pretty interesting to see that kind of go through. And it was funny that the only two people that seemingly weren't affected whatsoever were, of course, Fugitoid, because he was a robot, so I knew that would happen. But April didn't seem affected whatsoever. Like, she never. I mean, I think there was one scene where they were all arguing, but other than that, she didn't have, like, any issues whatsoever, it seemed. So I thought that was really interesting. And maybe the point of that was to kind of play on the fact that she doesn't naturally get corrupted, because they kind of teased that at the end, like, oh wow, maybe power really can corrupt people and stuff like that, and then it ends with April holding that little piece of the star. So I don't know what that's gonna lead to. I feel like I'm sure it's something that's in the comics somewhere where she becomes like this crazy powerful being or something, and plus, of course, they have her with the psychic abilities in this. So who knows what would happen with all this power coming together. But it was an interesting little tease, like, oh, April could end up being evil for a little bit of time because she gets corrupted by the power of the star, or well, I guess it's the same thing. If it's so powerful, it kind of overwhelms her normal senses, and then she becomes evil unintentionally, which same as being corrupted, pretty much. So I'm looking forward to whenever they do that. I feel like that won't be anytime soon. Even episode-wise, obviously it probably won't be for like a full year until we see that take place. But even episode-wise, I don't think that's going to actually take place too soon, where we see corrupted April. But I'm really looking forward to it because they teased it, and with her powers developing, I'd like to see that happen. I think that'll be very interesting. And then maybe when she comes out of that corruption, she'll have a much greater grasp on her abilities, and she'll be able to do like the psychic blasts and things like that with complete control after kind of losing it while being corrupted, and just maybe blasting people like crazy. But then she comes out of it and she's actually stronger for it, and still retains that control over her abilities. So hopefully that happens. I would love for that to happen very soon. I'd love for that to be like the next episode. Each episode they hint at it, but like next two episodes it's like official, she's corrupted already or something. But I highly doubt that'll be the case, unfortunately. I think it would just be really cool to see that happen so soon. But I'm looking forward to whatever they decide to do with that. But the action was good in this episode. The comedy was fairly good as well. It kind of went back and forth because mostly it was kind of just natural tension. But there was a lot of good action. There was one really silly moment that was also insanely serious, and that was when the Fugitoid was cornered. He literally vaporized a Triceraton, and like April saw like there's this giant flash, and April just turns around, and he's like, "Hey!" And there's just a pile of ash in front of him. He like literally killed that guy and just vaporized him. And I was like, "That's pretty crazy. I didn't expect that to happen." And he just turns into like this laser cannon thing and just vaporized the Triceraton. So that kind of blew my mind when I saw that happen. Like I don't think we'll see that too much, but it was definitely something I was like, that's pretty interesting. So I feel like they could certainly utilize that in the future. Just drastic moments. Drastic measures for drastic moments. But I thought that was pretty cool. It was like funny, but also kind of cool because of how it happened, and crazy because they did kill someone, and they, it's Nickelodeon's and kids show, so it's very rare we see someone die, and I think we've only seen technically, no, we've seen a couple of people, I guess, like maybe 3, possibly 4 people officially die, and that was the random Triceraton in this one, of course, Master Splinter. And I feel like we saw some of the Krang. I guess the Krang never officially died. They all, just got sent back to Dimension X. So I don't think any of them officially died. But I feel like there's some other characters that did. I think the old guy that they had helping them on the cases or something, I think he died, or someone that he knew was killed during like those missions where they were working with the team or something. I can't really remember. I know somebody died though. But it was kind of surprising. But it was a good episode. It was a nice. Honestly, it wasn't a filler episode, but it felt like it wasn't like the biggest amount of tension or anything like that, because it was like, all right, well, the main focus was clearly that they were on this planet that was meant to be like the most beautiful thing ever, and it was really corrupted. That was the point of this episode, you could tell, and it wasn't really that they were going after this piece, because it's only one piece. There's no real form of tension regardless of who won or lost, because it's like, well, it's the first piece. Like, we know they have to find more. So even if they lost, we know that it's going to come down to the wire, because Admittedly, it's television, so it always tends to do that. Or they completely win, and then the enemies just swarm them. So it's one or the other. We know how it's going to end. But the point of this was definitely the Aeons, and then April by the end getting that star, and whatever's going to happen with her. So I think it was a fun episode. The tension, like I said, it wasn't. I never felt the tension was super high, despite what they were going for in this episode. It never felt like the tension was like the most important thing. It was really the fact that they're on this planet, and they kind of have to figure out exactly what's going on here. So in that regard, definitely did it well. They certainly made friends in the Aeons. I don't know if that'll come back later. It probably will once the whole corruption thing happens. They'll have to try to get an answer out of them. But I think it was a fun episode. I hope we get another one next week. We normally do. They normally don't do one episode and then the super long hiatus again. So we'll probably get, I'd say maybe three more episodes in a row, and then we'll probably do another super long break. I wish they didn't have to do it that way, and they just had honestly, I'd wait a full year if we could literally just get every episode once a week, because it's kind of pointless just being like, here's an episode, and then 3 months later, here's the next episode, and it's just crazy. This show is like, it's almost like the Boondocks, where it's just like, here's a season, and then it takes forever for the next season to come out, but it's always worth it. So I did enjoy the episode. I'm looking forward to the next one for sure, because I just want to see more Ninja Turtles. But I definitely want to know what you guys thought about this one, so please comment below. Let me know your favorite parts, your least favorite parts. And I want to know what you guys think about April being corrupted in the future, because they obviously hinted at that with the power and everything. So she's going to get corrupted by this piece of the star. I want to know how you guys think that's going to play out. Because for me personally, I think it'll allow her, either she'll end up turning teams and she'll be working with like the bug villain for a little bit or something, or he'll trick her mentally or something like that, or she'll just be a crazy powerhouse for a couple episodes, and she'll just maybe just be attacking everyone. She might escape from the turtles, and then she might attack the Triceratons because of what she knows about them, and then the main villain, because he's the main villain, so what little they know about him, she'll probably attack him as well, and they'll just have to try to save her without being completely destroyed by her power. That's how I think that's going to go, but I definitely want to know your speculations, because I'm sure some people have more insight than others, because I'm sure that somewhere in the comics, probably 3 or 4 times over, whatever storyline they're working towards. But I want to know your expectations and speculations in general, so please comment below, let me know, and thanks for watching.